Arctic air in place across the Bluegrass State, and I've got more winter weather showing up in your 7-day forecast. A breakdown is just ahead.
Months after he died in the line of duty, how a Kentucky State Trooper was honored tonight at the high school where he graduated.
And the Cats had a battle with Mississippi State tonight in a game that went right down to the wire.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. Right now, Lexington police are trying to figure out what led up to a shooting outside a McDonald's restaurant. They say a man has been rushed to the hospital.
That shooting happened just after 9:30 tonight in the parking lot of the McDonald's on Russell Cave Road. Garrett Weimer just received an update from police. He joins us now live with the breaking details. Garrett?
Yeah, police are still piecing together what exactly happened, and so are we. But we're told people inside the McDonald's here told police that they heard gunshots and then saw two cars take off from the parking lot after that. A white car didn't make it far. In fact, you can see it behind me over my shoulder where it crashed into a tree. Investigators, when they got on scene, they found a man inside that car who had been shot. He was taken to UK hospital, and police say at this time was taken to the hospital in what they call very critical condition. Now, police have been out here for about an hour and a half. Investigators on the scene here. This access road in between Walmart and the McDonald's is closed. We've seen investigators taking pictures, kind of scouring the area, looking around some of the neighboring buildings and businesses here. The mobile command unit is also on the scene here, and more investigators, but police say they have no suspects at this time. Still very much developing story. In fact, just moments ago, we saw several people who seemed to be family. We heard one of the gentlemen say that the man who was shot was his brother. They came ducked under the crime scene tape here, and police had to kind of usher them away, and then they took off from the scene here in their car. But like I said, still very much developing story, so stay with WKYT and WKYT.com. Live in Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
All right, Garrett, thank you. The snow that we saw this morning and this afternoon has since moved on, but now we are left with some very cold air.
Chilly to say the least. The snow is still causing some travel problems, though. Check the bottom of your screen for any school closings and delays. So, how cold will it be overnight? Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has the latest on that. Chris?
Yeah, a few spots likely to wake up to readings into the high single digits first thing tomorrow morning. You mentioned the snow earlier, a lot of that melting away, but that melting obviously freezing up again out there this evening, so do be cautious of any slippery spots that are out there. Here's the current setup. Arctic high pressure. Look at the flow that is coming straight from the northwest, where we have a deep snowpack and temperatures that are below zero. We're just getting a little taste of that Arctic air out there now for not only Kentucky, but most of the Ohio Valley. Those northwesterly winds chilling the temperatures down. Southeastern Kentucky, we're still mid and upper 20s. Bluegrass region, 15. Lexington, look at Covington, down to 10. Single digits, not too far away from northern parts of the area. Wind chill, it is 2 degrees into Covington, feels like 8 in Lexington. This is the number to dress for if you're going to be out at any point tonight or tomorrow morning. At times it may feel closer to 0, if not a little bit below. Defender Radar Network certainly looking better than how we started out the day and rolling into the day tomorrow. High single digits to low teens will turn into upper 20s as clouds thicken up by the end of the day. When I come back here in less than 10 minutes, guys, I've got more Arctic cold and a few more snow chances to talk about. It's a busy 7-day forecast in a few.
As the temperature falls, homeless shelters around the Bluegrass are filling up with people looking to escape the cold. The Beacon of Hope shelter in Winchester offers hot meals and warm beds for dozens of people. People staying there say they appreciate it.
There has been times that I have slept on railroad tracks. It means a lot more. So, you know, it's really, you know, you have to humble yourself and be really grateful for this.
The Beacon of Hope shelter has been open for about a year now. Volunteers say they will not turn anyone away.
His family wants to make sure his legacy lives on. Tonight, a memorial fund set up in honor of a fallen Kentucky State Trooper received a major donation. Trooper Cameron Ponder was shot in western Kentucky last September. His family and state police gathered at his high school tonight for a special tribute.
Monique Blair has a story from Hardin County, new at 11.
On Tuesday night, the excitement could be felt on this high school basketball court as the Elizabethtown Panthers played their rival, the North Hardin Trojans. But as the halftime buzzer sounded, the game stopped and the crowd fell silent.
We're just here to honor Trooper Joseph Cameron Ponder for the service that he had to our Commonwealth and also to our country.
Trooper Ponder was shot and killed following a traffic stop in September. On Tuesday, a $2,500 check was presented to his family that will go into a memorial fund that they set up in his honor.
Well, it means the world to us. It's keeping the memory of Cameron alive.
Trooper Ponder's family chose to have the ceremony held here at North Hardin High School because this was his alma mater.
He loved his friends and his school, and it means everything to us to be here.
Trooper Ponder's dad, Joe, told me he hopes through possibly one of these very kids, his son's memory will be kept alive.
Hopefully he can inspire other young people in the community to strive to be, the type of man that he was.
The type of man, his father says, who encouraged everyone around him to live by 3 short words.
Never give up. Cameron preached more so in the way he lived than the words themselves, but that's what he inspired people around him to do, was to never give up.
In Hardin County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Telmate donated the money tonight. The company donates $5,000 to the families of each fallen police officer across the country.
Tonight, President Obama laid out his vision for America during his final State of the Union address. Among those in the audience tonight, Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. Tonight, we learned she attended on a ticket from Ohio Republican Representative Jim Jordan of Ohio. But Jordan claims he gave the ticket to the Family Research Council, who then gave it to Davis without him knowing. Greg Boswell has more on the president's address.
The President of the United States.
A decidedly optimistic President Obama told the nation he's looking to the future.
I want to focus on the next 5 years, the next 10 years, and beyond.
Part of that involved looking back at the last 7. The president touted his accomplishments.
We're in the middle of the longest streak of private sector job creation in history.
He also championed the Iran nuclear deal, the climate change agreement, and America's resolve against terrorism.
When you come after Americans, we go after you. And it may take time, but we have long memories, and our reach has no limits.
The president didn't lay out broad-based goals for the Republican-led Congress, but did say he wants to work with lawmakers on bipartisan priorities like criminal justice reform and prescription drug abuse.
The president also lamented strained relations between the two parties.
It's one of the few regrets of my presidency that the rancor and suspicion between the parties has gotten worse instead of better.
South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley delivered the Republican response. She criticized the Obama White House, but also warned leading GOP presidential candidates against a hardline immigration stance.
No one who is willing to work hard, abide by our laws, and love our traditions should ever feel unwelcome in this country.
President Obama reminded Americans 1 year from now he'll be right alongside them as a private citizen. Greg Boswell, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In his response, Kentucky Senator and presidential candidate Rand Paul called the president, quote, a leader with a record of failure. He called for the next president to have a balanced budget plan.
After 2 games on the road, the UK basketball team returning to Rupp Arena tonight to play Mississippi State. And the Cats had to fight off a late rally from the Bulldogs. It was close. Brian Milam joins us with some of the highlights. Hey, Brian.
Hello, everybody. Mississippi State had not won on the road this season. Kentucky hadn't lost at Rupp Arena, so it sounded like a pretty good recipe for the Cats' 13th win of the season. But UK fell behind right at the start, down 5-0. UK gets going. Isaiah Briscoe gets the steal, gets the lay-in. Jamal Murray open on the left wing for 3. He had 11 points in the first 7 minutes. Cats by 7. MSU would go on a run, cutting a double-digit lead to 2. The pass to Scal for the slam. He had 5. Derek Willis providing the spark off the bench late in the first half. Kentucky up 39-31 at the break. Second half, the Cats really get it going again from the outside. Tyler Eulis pushes the lead to 11. It grows to 14 and then to 16 on the lob to Alex Poitras. He had 6 points and 8 rebounds. Kentucky would lead by 21. Murray, game high 22. MSU with a huge rally down the stretch, cut the lead to 2. But the Cats hit their free throws down the stretch. Round and round and round they go. Cats hold on, 80-74. We will have a complete wrap-up of this game coming up a little bit later in sports.
Thank you, Brian. A Kentucky lawmaker says his new bill will save Kentucky college students a lot of money in the coming years. What he has proposed in 9 minutes.
And later, even Coach Cal can't escape Powerball fever. Hear from the Lexington gas station clerk who sold him the tickets.
A high school principal is transferred in the middle of a school year with no explanation. WKYT's Miranda Combs searched through hundreds of emails and other documents to find out why. The principal transfer, Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
Young or old, all over Kentucky, we all stand for the same Commonwealth. A Commonwealth of families, natural beauty, and a pride in ourselves. I'm WKYT's Rebecca Smith, and I stand for Kentucky.
There's no debate. Get $8,000 off MSRP on all select new 2015 Kia Optimas in stock at Cartown Kia. And if you have a job bringing home $350 per week, we want to approve your credit. Visit CartownKiaUSA.com today.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
These crispy strips have the proportion of breading to chicken just right.
Just right. That reminds me of my favorite work of literature, Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
What do you like about that book so much?
Oh, the plot.
Yeah, what about the plot?
Oh, it felt so plotty. I felt like the plot that was there, you know, and then it thickened.
So who is your favorite character?
Oh, probably Robert.
Moral of the story, new lightly breaded crispy strips are just right. This is how you Sonic.
The Heartland Globetrotters!
For 90 years, we've been turning moments like this into unforgettable memories like that.
Coming to Rupp Arena this Saturday at 7. Great seats at the arena box office or Ticketmaster.com.
If you have questions about your on-the-job injury, visit forthepeople.com for more information. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on 104.5 The Cat.
There's no debate. Get $8,000 off MSRP on all select new 2015 Kia Optimas in stock at Cartown Kia. Drive away in a new 2016 Kia Sorento SUV for only $189 per month only at Cartown Kia. Visit CartownKiaUSA.com today.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Well, thermometers tonight a whole lot colder than what we were looking at this same point last night. Temperatures 24 hours ago were starting to climb a little bit ahead of that Arctic front and snowmaker that blew through here earlier in the day. So, stands to reason we're going to see some big-time negative numbers when we compare what is out there now to last night at this time. Look at the temps. 18 degrees colder in northern Kentucky and Fort Knox, 17 degrees colder for Lexington, and those numbers will continue to drop. And this time it is really cold, 10 to 15 in the parts of central and northern Kentucky. We're going to see some single digits creeping into the weather picture. 15 for Lexington, southeastern Kentucky. Cold air is sinking its way. It is seeping its way into those valleys of southeastern Kentucky. Wind chill numbers, this is what you should be paying attention to. If you're up and at 'em tomorrow morning, we may be closer to 0 at times, if not a couple of negative numbers in there. Feels like it is 8 degrees as of now. Speaking of that wind chill forecast, let's track the numbers as we make our way through the overnight. 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, 3, 4, 5. You could see Covington going in at 5 below 0 tomorrow morning with a wind chill. It's going to feel like 0 for Lexington or Frankfort as we kickstart your day with high single digits to low teens. It's quite the spread that's going to set up. Northern Kentucky, we've got a lot of snow on the ground. Southern Kentucky, not so much, so your temperatures are going to be a little warmer. Everybody tomorrow should see a mix of sun and clouds. Upper 20s to around 30 in the south, low and mid 20s the farther north and northeast that we go, then a little more in the way of some clouds work on into town. So Arctic cold tonight. We watch a system coming in Friday and Saturday, similar to what we had last Saturday and Sunday with some rain to snow showers. Then bitterly cold temperatures are going to follow that up yet again. You think we're locked into a pattern? You're right. We're going to start to see more and more of these Arctic fronts making their way across the region over the next couple of weeks. And at any point, we can have some light snow makers, and we'll watch the southern jet stream that is going to try to crank up over the next few days. Nothing out there now. Defender is calm. It is quiet until we go into Friday. That's when we find a low pressure right on top of the area. That's a fairly weak system. That's going to transition, I think, into a big nor'easter for the weekend. We're on the back edge of that. That means some snow showers will break out on Saturday into Saturday night. Little break in between systems. Then an Arctic front is going to make its way toward the area as we go into late Sunday and Monday. That can have a little band of snow with that, as well as even colder temperatures than what we're talking about tonight tries to shoot in here as we go into Monday and Tuesday of next week. I mentioned the southern jet stream. We also, at some point early next week, will have to watch a system or two trying to pop in the Gulf of Mexico and work up the East Coast. How far north can those get? We'll see. Depends on how strong that cold air is. And right now, that cold air is pretty darn strong and showing up into the first part of next week. Thursday, pick day of the next week, 46 to 50 degrees, some sun. And then we go into Friday and it goes downhill quickly yet again. Look at those numbers early next week, guys. Around 5 for lows.
Ooh, chilly.
Very chilly.
All right, thanks, Chris.
What is next for Lexington-based Lexmark? A new report tonight claims the company may split up. The update in 7 minutes.
Hi, my name is Lynn, and I drive a Toyota Prius. It's been a great car. I've had it for several years now. My boys are about 6 feet tall, and they've driven in the back seat, all 3 of them in the back, and we've had all 5 of us and all of our luggage in the Prius. Not only are you saving in gas, but you're getting a great car. You're getting a great looking car. I love it. I don't have any problems with it. I would buy another Prius in a minute.
Get a 2015 Prius now with 0 for 60 financing plus $500 bonus cash. Toyota, let's go places.
No two babies are alike. And no two birthing experiences are alike. At the Women's Hospital at St. Joseph East, we believe you should have your baby your way, with a birthing plan designed around you and a level 3 neonatal ICU. A personalized childbirth experience isn't just good for mom. It's good for baby. Kentucky One Health, the one name in healthcare.
Hey, we did it. We did it. We won. Our number is 1! Carla, let me see that ticket.
Oh, it was Kathy's turn to buy the ticket.
I had to work a double. Bill said he'd get him.
I had bowling. Late night. Yeah. So Daryl said he'd get him.
Didn't get my text?
Pickle the chickens?
No. Pick up the tick.
The only way you can win Kentucky's Powerball or Mega Millions jackpot is if you actually buy your ticket.
This is Brett Melrose. With winter almost here, the experienced team at Fayette Heating and Air stands ready to serve you, dedicated to keeping you and your family comfortable around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, with no additional overtime fees ever. Fayette Heating and Air, we're the biggest because we're the best, and we're here for you anytime, day or night. Call 233-0424. Fayette Heating and Air, complete home solutions.
The average person takes 5,000 to 8,000 steps per day, working, exercising, going about the day. High-tech artificial limbs keeps you moving comfortably. You can choose who helps you walk in the right direction.
Look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout, take a look and say, oh, 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 oh.
Welcome.
How you doing?
Good, how are you? So today you're going to choose a mobile office. Okay. You can choose this Chevy Silverado, which offers built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi, or you can choose this Ford F-150, which doesn't offer Wi-Fi. But to make up for it, we added a trailer, a satellite antenna, and Dolores.
Hey, fellas.
What? So which one do you want?
I picked the Chevy. Definitely.
Or get this dependable Silverado All-Star Edition with a total value of $7,250. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
A Kentucky state senator says the cost of college tuition is getting out of hand, so he's filed a bill that would make it harder for state universities to raise tuition.
Republican Senator Dan Symes' bill would freeze tuition and fees at state universities for 4 years. After that, universities would have to ask the General Assembly for approval to raise tuition.
It borders on criminal what these universities are doing with these kids.
In a statement, a University of Kentucky spokesman said UK welcomes any discussion that would make college more affordable. He also said UK is working to reduce costs for students.
New tonight, Iran is holding 10 U.S. Navy sailors whose boats drifted into Iranian waters. The Pentagon says it's been assured by Iran that the sailors and their boats will be returned safely and promptly tomorrow. The Pentagon says the two boats had some sort of mechanical trouble while traveling in the Persian Gulf. New tonight, Lexmark is reportedly thinking about splitting up some of its businesses. Reuters reports the Lexington-based company is considering splitting up its hardware and software businesses for separate sales. The report says the hardware business has been hurt by a decline in printing sales, but the software business is growing. A Lexmark spokesperson would not comment on the report.
Powerball fever continues to sweep the country as the jackpot soars to $1.5 billion. And even UK basketball coach John Calipari bought a ticket. There he is. These pictures taken Sunday night at a marathon station on Versailles Road in Lexington. The clerks say Coach Cal had his own numbers written down, and then he took pictures with them.
Can I have a picture with you, please, sir? You know, he's a man of respect, so I had to give him a lot of respect, And we took a picture.
Everybody's going to wonder, what were those numbers? You'll be able to watch tomorrow night's Powerball drawing live at 10:59 p.m. right here on WKYT. What if Coach Cal won?
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, does he play often if he has numbers that he likes to use?
He's a smart guy either way.
Brian's here now with more on Mississippi State pushing the Cats at Rupp.
Yeah, the numbers were 3 tonight. There's a lot of those. On paper, total mismatch. But the Bulldogs continued to rally and made a game of it. Highlights and post-game reaction of a game which was much closer than it should have been. Sports is next.
WKYT's High School Game Time is brought to you by Eastern Kentucky University.
With savings up to half off, as much as $1,000 in cash rewards, and doorbusters all through the store, how can our deal of the decade get any better? By giving you 0 interest for 48 months with no money down. Hurry! Nobody beats P-Rats.
Alt Smoke Vapor Lounge specializes in a variety of electronic devices and refill liquids. Let our team of experts help customize your vaping experience. Stop in and see why we are Lexington's premier vape lounge. Touch, taste, and feel the difference with Alt Smoke.
Give us 5 minutes to make your life easier. MomsEveryday.com.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
Invest in your rest and save up to half off. Buy any ultra premium mattress set and choose from a huge selection of free items like this 1080p LED TV. Free. Plus get up to 72 months, 0 interest. That's 6 years. Now that's the deal of the decade. Nobody beats P-Rats.
Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, yes, is up to $1.5 billion.
The flu virus. It's a really big deal. And with fever, aches, and chills, Mom knows it needs a big solution, an antiviral. Don't kid around with the flu. Call your doctor within the first 48 hours of symptoms and ask about prescription Tamiflu. Attack the flu virus at its source with Tamiflu, an antiviral that helps stop it from spreading in the body. Tamiflu in liquid form is FDA approved to treat the flu in people 2 weeks of age and older whose flu symptoms started within the last 2 days. Before taking Tamiflu, tell your doctor if you're pregnant, nursing, have serious health conditions, or take other medicines. If you develop an allergic reaction, a severe rash, or signs of unusual behavior, stop taking Tamiflu and call your doctor immediately. Children and adolescents in particular may be at an increased risk of seizures, confusion, or abnormal behavior. The most common side effects are mild to moderate nausea and vomiting. Anti-flu? Go antiviral with Tamiflu.
Yeah, I can't believe this DQ $5 lunch comes with fries, drink, and a sundae.
Can't believe it now comes with this KC barbecue burger.
I can't believe Randy's barbecuing.
Oh! It's barbecue season at DQ with the new KC Barbecue Bacon Cheeseburger $5 lunch. You need a breakfast built for work days, not weekdays. The chicken and gravy breakfast burrito from your DQ. A chicken strip plus eggs, cheese, and pepper gravy in a warm flour tortilla. Served with crispy hash browns and coffee. Just one of our delicious $3 breakfasts. Only at your DQ.
Made in America means something to Toyota. And around here, Made in America means made in Kentucky. Toyota has brought over 22,000 jobs here, investing nearly $6 billion in the Bluegrass State and building over 10 million Toyotas, including the bold 2016 Camry, with its aggressive style and the most advanced innovative features. That's Kentucky's own Toyota Camry. For all Toyota offers, including Camry, go to buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Rupp Arena has been kind to the Cats over the years, especially in the rivalry with Mississippi State. UK 27-2 against the Dogs in the friendly confines. Cats, however, fall behind 5-0. Then UK gets going. Isaiah Briscoe gets the steal and gets the lay-in. Kentucky was superb hitting three-pointers early. Jamal Murray open on the right wing, and he hits. Jamal Murray open on the left wing for three again. Then in transition, Murray one more time. He had 11 points in the first 7 minutes. Cats lead by 7. Not to be outdone, the little general, Tyler Eulis from behind the arc. The lead is at 12. MSU goes on a run, cuts the advantage to 2. The pass to Scal for the slam. He had 5 points. Derek Willis providing the spark off the bench. Out of the corner for the trifecta, wide open. Beats the shot clock. Later in the half, Willis again from Euclid Avenue. Kentucky up 39-31 at the half. Second stanza, the Cats doing it again from the outside. Eulis pushes the lead to 11. Kentucky grows the lead to 18. Briscoe goes backboard. Not sure if he called it, but who cares? He had 14. The lead is now 53-33 Big Blue when Scal gets the lob. Only 2 field goals on the dunks. Eulis, just hard to stop, like liquid mercury. It kind of just goes where it wants to. His shot goes in. He's fouled. Mom and Dad like it. The lead at 14. Make it 16. Alex Poitras, 6 points and 8 rebounds for the senior. Murray was feeling it in the zone in spots, and that's one of his spots. Another 3, game high 22. The Canadian sharpshooter, 5 of 11 from the land of 3. This one makes it 72-62. Eulis at the line after MSU makes a huge rally, and watch this thing spin and spin and spin in. Finally goes down. He gets a smile, and Kentucky smiling. MSU rallied, made it close, 80-74.
Mississippi State just would not go away, and the Bulldogs had a chance to pull this game out right at the end. The guards had to do it all tonight, combining for 57 points and 13 assists. Once again, Kentucky lacked an inside presence.
Again, I don't know the answer. That comes from within. We have good players. We're learning. We made some dumb errors, but that's what happens when you have a young team. But again, when we have a lot of guys no-show, it's hard to win.
I don't know, guys just stopped playing a little bit, I think, and also they did make a lot of tough shots, but, we can't let that happen late in the game. We got to understand and, try to, get the game away and just keep it that way.
You're not going to play, excellent every night, and, some days it's different, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes, and, we'll be fine. They're great. Marcus is one of the best rebounders in the nation right now. Alex is just, a beast, and everybody knows that. And a lot of teams are focusing on them to try and stop them. So, so it's a lot of pressure on them, and they're just trying to figure it out right now.
There were some good things in this game. The continued improved play of Isaiah Briscoe and the free throws of Alex Poitras and Tyler Eulis going down when it counted. In Rupp, Rob Bromley, WKYT.
Thank you, Rob. Now to high school, separated by just 1.2 miles, Lafayette and Lexington Catholic meeting in the city's backyard battle. It's Hawaiian theme. The Catholic student section dressed out tonight. Generals big man Ross Jenkins left wide open. That's not his game out there, so he's going to dribble in a little bit and knock it down. He had 17 points and 12 rebounds. Then off the defense, Harrison Lane ahead to TJ Downey. Downey with a dozen. And Catholic's Luke Johnson, he has been a scoring machine this year, will finish through contact. But Lafayette gets it done on the road, 66-63 the final score. Henry Clay heading across town to meet up with Bryan Station. We get there late, so some of the younger guys get some love on the tube tonight. Alex Pickett alone underneath for the basket, and it was all Henry Clay tonight. On the break, it's freshman Keaston Brown. Oh, he wears 4, last name Brown. What's that tell you? Blue Devils win big, 75-40. Scott County on the ladies' side. They hit the highway to Henry Clay, and the Lady Cardinals are out running early. Juliet Smith out in front finishes with the layup. Lady Devils will swing the basketball around the perimeter. Alex Lutz steps inside the perimeter, knocks down the jumper. Peyton Riddle leading Scott County with 17 points. We like threes on this show, don't we? 3 is good, and the Lady Cardinals win by 4, 59-55. Talia Livers did not play. The ladies of Lafayette at Lake City Catholic, and the Knights go inside, outside. Jay Ballard, three-pointer on the way. Jay is good. She had 14. Lady Generals defense forces the turnover. Shelby Wilson turns it into points, and later off of the miss, Kiera Pankins will get the rebound. Here's the rebound. There's the bucket, there's the whistle, which means and one. Catholic, this is a 3 with 3 seconds to go. Lafayette holds on, 40-38. Up next is Matt Jones. Stick around.
Go beyond the ordinary with striking design. Go beyond innovation with available intuitive touchpad technology. Go beyond utility with the Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid. Once driven, there's no going back. Lease the 2016 NX 200 Turbo for $369 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
If you've been injured in an automobile accident, don't give a written or recorded statement until you speak to us. Visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Our cancer patients are really special people. They're determined, they're tough, and they're such wonderful people to care for. It's really great to offer patients the standard of care, but then we have trials so that we can also give them the cutting edge, where we explain to the patient this is the standard, but this might be even better. Because of the excellent work we do, we've received an outstanding award from the Commission on Cancer. I'm Dr. Hain, and we treat every one of our patients like family at Baptist Health.
Choosing a college is about setting a course, a path that leads to your destination. At EKU, the adventure is what lies in between. Eastern Kentucky University. Great journeys begin here.
Are you happy with your bathroom? I wasn't. But for years, I didn't do anything about it. Like many people, I thought I didn't have the money until I learned about the brilliant solution from Bathfitter. Bathfitter puts a new bathtub right over your old one. Isn't that amazing? Bathfitter will measure and make you a new custom bathtub that they install right over your existing one with beautiful matching walls. That means you don't have to rip out your old tub, so there's no demolition or ridiculous costs. And they do it all in just one day. That's my favorite part. Plus, you get to choose everything. Book a free consultation and find out for yourself. Here's a before and after photo. This is a gorgeous acrylic tub that fit right over the old one. And only Bathfitter has seamless walls, which guarantee a watertight fit. When you change your tub, you change your bathroom, and that can change your life. I know because I did it. Call today or learn more at bathfitternow.com.
I need to collect your phone so you can't post pictures. How does it feel to not be connected?
My chest hurts.
Let me show you a better way to keep connected. The 2016 Chevy Cruze offers built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi that connects up to 7 devices.
Current qualified GM lessees can get a sign and drive lease on this well-equipped Cruze Limited for around $179 a month. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on News Radio 630 WLAP.
Every year about this time, it's the same thing. An NBA coach gets fired, and we hear that John Calipari is interested in the job. This time, the report was a little different than years past, and that it was pretty specific.
said John Calipari wanted $12 million a year for 10 years to coach the Nets. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. First of all, it's an absurd amount of money. He'd be making more than any coach in the league. And secondly, it's the Nets. And while Cal is friends with the ownership group there, I don't think he wants to coach a team that has really no future. But I do think that John Calipari still has a little itch for the NBA. There's a part of him that doesn't want to finish his career with that as a failure. I don't know if he'll ever actually scratch that itch, though. It's very hard to leave Kentucky, which might be the best job in college sports, to go take another chance. But I do know this. We're going to keep hearing it. Calipari can keep denying it, but it'll happen every season. I'm Matt Jones, and this is Overtime.
But what if Coach Cal wins the lottery?
That's a different itch to scratch.
He's
there.
got the ticket.
He can buy the Nets.
And then some.
No weather?
That's all I got.
Okay.
It's cold. That's it. That's it.